has to start somewhere. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now?
So I'm on the phone here, not only just on the phone, but I'm on Skype for the first time with Cooza Black. He's the vocalist of Sin City. They're out of Houston, Texas. They're a hip-hop rock band. And what I'm reading here is the band's unique combination of progressive rock and aggressive rhyme style continues to push the envelope of traditional rock and hip-hop into a genre of its own.
Yes,
so
sir.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. And before we fire off, I want to give a shout out to the bandmates. No, they're not here with me. Tyler on bass, JT Licious on guitar, T-Rex drums, and Matt Bradshaw keys. So I want to give a shout out to the guys. And I am Cooza Black with Cooza Black in Sin City, man. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you for being on, as of now, the first episode of STFU and Listen. That would be Shut the Fuck Up and Listen. So this is going to be an ongoing video / podcast that I'm going to be doing here. So what I want this to be is I want this to be raw, honest, and all I see on your sunglasses right now is my logo. So I want to keep it fresh, but I also want to keep it fun, but I also want to keep it real. So that's what I want. Oh, it's cool. You can totally keep the sunglasses on.
I keep the sunglasses on.
I mean, if that's the thing, go for it. So obviously we want this to be conversation style, but I do have some questions that are going to be basically to start off.
Right.
So what I want to do here is I'm going to start off with this.
Okay.
How and where does change in our society need to start, and especially being the front man of a band in the rock genre and hip hop genre? Where do you think conversation needs to start?
Everything starts at home, I believe, man. Because you have to walk out into society, right? So everything has to start at home with good parenting and understanding from the parents and how to deliver messages to your children, right? Because children are born with an innocence, right? They haven't gotten tarnished with the world as we as adults have. So it all needs to start at home, right? And as you see, I'm the front man of a rock band, right? And it was purposely formed with diversity, right? I have Hispanic guy, white, two white guys and 2 black dudes, right? So with that, we want to present that change. We want to be that change, but as adults, we have to listen to each other too, right? We all don't have the same views, right? We all haven't grown up the same, right? So we have to just listen to each other and really deal with individuals, not deal with what you think that individual is. And if you're mature enough to do that, I think outside of the world, from the teachings to the children, I believe that's a good starting point. Dealing with who you're dealing with, right? Because I'm dealing with you. I'm talking to Evan, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking to Evan from what street or grew up in Chicago or visited Las Vegas and lost 20,000. That's not who I'm talking to. We're having a conversation, and I think that's a good starting point. Making it more direct, making it more of a one-on-one.
That's my whole point of this. Is I want people, and we see it all over social media. A lot of people are just one-sided. They're closed-minded. And they don't want to listen. They want to be able to just spout off on what they think they know.
Right.
Without understanding the other side of it. They want their opinions to be the right ones, even though there's other people trying to tell them, this is how I'm living. Well, other people, those people on social media, the warriors, as I call them,
right,
they're like, well, that's not how you deal with it. This is how you deal with it. So they're trying to tell you how you should when you're the one that's actually going through the issues.
Exactly.
It's a strong point, and as good as social media can be, it's also the downfall of what everything is going on right now as well.
Yeah. You get trapped down that rabbit hole, man. You'll be on it and get lost, and you'll actually lose perspective. Right. That's why even though I do a lot of promotion on the social media sites, I kind of take a lot of time away from social media too, right? And just kind of because you get to reading and getting people views and you start to kind of fall down that rabbit hole of now you went from saying to yourself, I'm gonna look at this for 5 minutes, and you've been on it for 5 hours.
Yeah, you can just flip it through and commenting on crap that you shouldn't be commenting on and doing all that not fun stuff that you think is fun, but then it kind of messes with your mind as well.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So being who you are, being the lead singer of a rock band, a hip hop band, what experience have you had in the rock world being a man of color especially like in the South? I mean, what kind of experience have you gone through?
I'll say 99.99% has been all good, right? The individuals who pushed our project and our movement forward have been all white, right? I mean, Tracy George, Tom George, John Jonatesh, Kevin Hamlin, Lawler James, Chris Harding, Curtis McKinney, the list, and Jack Shred, it goes on and on and on, like the individuals who actually backed us. Like we have a radio station, iHeart Power down here, 94.5 The Buzz. They've been behind us, right? So I haven't come across anything that'll make me kind of fall back with the individuals that I deal with. It's been all love, because from what my experience is in dealing with those individuals, all they want to see is if you got the talent, if the music is right, and we're going to get behind you, right? And that's all I've been able to experience. Now, with being from the South, now we did do a show in Oklahoma. It was this big festival in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Pulling into Oklahoma, I saw a sea of Confederate flags, right? And being a man, as you say, being a man of color, man, being a black man, pulling up into that venue, it was a little shell shocking.
Yeah.
Right. But also being from the South, because once again, my parents and how well they parented my brother and I, we understood that, and we understand that blacks see the Confederate flag as Jews see the swastika. That's just what it is. But at the same time, a lot of Caucasian individuals who promote that Confederate flag, they just see it as a representation of the South, right? And so they don't really dig and peel back the layers of the history of what it really means when that flag goes up. But lo and behold, once again, going through that festival, that was a shell shock. But the people there were very receptive and cool with me and cool with the rest of the squad. Like we all kind of fell back. Everybody, when we pulled into and we saw that sea of Confederate flags, we was like, oh, right? It was just an automatic.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you didn't have to think about throwing down, but yeah, I totally get the whole vibe of it.
Yeah, but it was it was all love, and it's once again, it's one of those things when someone approached me and I knew that they were coming from one of those trucks waving that Confederate flag, I was ready to deal with the individual. And they came up to us and was like, hey, hell of a show. Thank you, right? And at that point, I no longer saw him coming from the truck with the Confederate flag. I was dealing with the individual who was showing me love.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I could have been blinded. I could have been like, oh, man, fuck out of here, man. I see you with the Confederate flag, man. Fuck out of here. I could have done that, right? But I would have been wrong, and I wouldn't have gotten that love, right? So with that, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, and that's listening and understanding.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, some people with the Confederate flag look at it one way, and then there's the other more hardcore that look at it as the other way, which is the more racist kind of connotations that it takes.
Right.
So it's how you picked on what it is, and like you said, it's also the individual carrying it as well.
Absolutely.
So it goes all back to how you were kind of raised and how you were brought up and what you see and how you react.
Right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, my parents, they came from Mississippi, the South,
mm-hmm.
right? All the way from, picking cotton to now a 2-story in the suburbs, right? So our teachings were very, very dirt road and very, very southern.
Okay.
Right. So we had no choice but to try to be able to navigate through different people and understand that everybody who possibly waves that flag isn't all bad. However, this is the history behind it.
Gotcha.
Right? And in forming the band, what I wanted to do, I didn't just want to have, an all-black band. I didn't want to do that. My favorite band of all time is Prince and the Revolution. And there's diversity every which kind of way you want to look.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of how I wanted to mirror my band. And the guys in the band, very upstanding dudes, man, and great attitudes. And we all listen to each other, and that's how it works. And that's what we want to present, that unity.
Good. That's good. And you and I were talking before we started this video. I recently saw a video on your Facebook page that had you emotional, basically talking about a night where you guys were recording in the studio. Can you talk about what actually happened that day and how that video came about?
Yeah, so it was very fresh, man. The whole George Floyd situation, and with Houston being home base, we kind of felt it a little different, right? Knowing the school he went to, knowing people that I know who knew him, and they kind of hit different. It was fresh, like that wound was fresh. And we were just having a regular rehearsal. It was one of our get back rehearsals because, whole social distancing and all of that. So we're really getting back into the rooms, getting rehearsed, and we were jamming. We were just jamming, and practice was over. And so heard a knock on the door. Hey, hey man, you guys are good. You guys this. You guys are awesome. You guys, and it was just a very honest display of love towards us, right? And Houston, the music scene here is very competitive. Not expecting that, especially not in the dungeon when you rehearsing, right? That's where you want to keep all your secrets. Nobody is invited into the back cave. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they came in showing us that love, and me and my brother, who was kind of our head coach, Big Reg, he was like, "Hey man, hit him with another one, man, before we get out of here," because we was about to leave. So, like, all right, so we hit him with another one. They jammed with us, and it was just an encore of love, right? I didn't know that later on that night that experience was going to hit me, right? So I'm up late, thinking about everything and thinking about the love, the genuine love that we all were shown by a group of strangers. They didn't know us from nothing. And I just got to thinking about how easy it is to show that. And having 3 kids, it's like, I'm trying to make things better for them, right? And I got to thinking about them, and as a father, how would I feel if my kids were mistreated like that? I've gone through what I've gone through, right? I'm hoping to take all of the bullets and be as Teflon as I can from society, so they don't have to deal with that. So all of that kind of got into my head, and I was like, I never shared anything like that, right? And as you know, the game now is transparent. So as honest as I was being with myself at that point, I just hit the record button. I just started talking, and I put it up there, and I don't know if you read it. I said I might take it down.
Yeah, I was wondering. You still haven't deleted it yet. It's been a week, so
yeah, I have people asking.
It's strong. It's strong though. I mean, like you said, I watched it before I jumped on with you, and it kind of got to me too. I was like, wow. I mean, yeah, you're right. You don't normally see bands just come out of nowhere and just kind of come up and say how great it was, and then you just rock out again right after that.
Yeah, we just gave them another one, man, and they were very receptive, man, and and one of them said, like, "Hey, man, looking at you guys make me want to do ... It kind of, people looking up to us, and we're like, oh, okay, that's cool, thank you, So it was just an emotional night for me, and I just wanted to share it with my followers. I didn't know it was going to do what it was going to do, but I'm glad it got to some people, man. That's just really what we need right now. Spread love.
Yeah, it's a great message, and being the front man, the lead singer, with all that is going on here, with everything. I mean, we have the defunding of the police, we have the COVID stuff, we have the riots, we have, Black Lives Matter. We have basically everything is kind of coming to an explosion right about now in the world. What do you think music can bring to the whole situation? I notice a lot of bands are kind of being a little more quiet, not really releasing stuff, but I'm expecting like a big boom of kind of Rage Against the Machine-ish type music.
Yeah, you're going to see a couple of bands, implement that, but probably not change their whole format, right? You'll probably hear a couple songs here and there. Like our music is really self-striving anyway, right? Mm-hmm. Our music is about you getting up and feeling good and going to do you and going to take on the world and things of that nature. But as a musician, you have to try to some way incorporate what's going on right now. You can't be afraid to. It's not that you want to make a whole album about it. It's not that you want to make your whole movement about it, right? Like bands like Rage Against the Machines, Green Day, Public Enemy, that's what they were about.
Yeah.
That's what they're about. So it's genuine when it comes from them, right? So if a group who isn't about that, now all of a sudden want to turn cold, it might not work. But if you kind of put the medicine in some cheese, right, and feed it music wise like that way, give a quick 1-2 or give a couple lines, then it could be respected, right? But what do I expect, man? I think with COVID, because that was kind of our first blow, everybody was shut down, and it kind of gave bands, you did one or two things: either you relaxed or you got creative. However creative it was, you got creative. And with us, we took a creative writing music, coming up with ideas, concepts, promotion. That's what we did with the time. And now it's kind of time to start getting back into the rehearsal groove, mm-hmm. right? Getting back into looking into shows and connecting with promoters. But so far as what COVID has done, I think once the curtain is let up for everybody to come out, there's going to be an explosion of appreciation from the fans.
Oh yeah.
Right. So the shows are going to be a lot better, I believe, than what they once were, because now people have an appreciation to get out. Right. Yeah. So far as, what happened, with George Floyd, I believe you're going to get 50-50 in a sense of some angry tone, because musicians and songwriters, it's an outlet, right? You're going to get some angry tones, probably some angry type of beats, production, and you're going to get some heal the world, we are the world type of production too, right? Because both are necessary, really, right? Because I like to look at music as lyrical, verbal directing, like of a movie, right? You may be pissed off, but you may not know how to display and convey that anger. So you get into your car, you fuck the police, NWA, lets you relax. It says it all for you, right? You may be feeling emotional, right? You may be feeling emotional. You may not know how to convey that emotion. So you press play on Marvin Gaye, what's going on, and just sit back and let Marvin Gaye talk.
Yeah,
I think that's a responsibility for us musicians to be able to detail certain feelings, and that's kind of what we do already. But now, like I said, we're going to put some of the medicine in that cheese and kind of give a quick 1-2 and get back to what our fans are used to from us.
It's a really good way to think about it. I love your little analogy of the cheese and the pill and the cheese.
Yeah.
that's a great way to do it. Just kind of hide it and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Obviously with music and, everything basically shut down, music-wise, there are a lot of people, and me being one, I'm dealing with a lot of stress and depression just because of what I'm missing in my life.
Right.
Music is usually my go-to outlet besides sports and working out, which I can't do anyway, so it kind of
Right.
sucks. So right now, any kind of positive kind of just messages from people and from bands, and I kind of see that aspect kind of coming into it more as well, more of the mental health kind of music. Is there, what do you think can help with people that are going through the withdrawal of not being able to go to shows and not being able to do all that? Like, how do you think most people should kind of help cope? What are you thinking on that?
Well, there's at this point, people have their favorites. People have their favorite bands of now. People have their favorite bands of yesterday, right? So far as music, just go to your personal archives. It doesn't have to be somebody from today. It could be somebody from yesterday. Because if you think about it, the same thing is being said.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to feel, right? If you want to pull out Marvin Gaye, if you want to pull out Green Day, if you want to pull out the Police, if you want to pull out, whoever it is, Prince, whoever you, Lenny Kravitz, whoever you want to, Aerosmith, whoever you want to pull out, and just vibe. Sade for that shit. I put on Sade sometimes just to relax.
That's some smooth stuff right there. That's for sure.
Just to relax, right? And so, so far as that part of your depression, if music is your vice, I would say to somebody, don't look to a now. Go to your favorite, because it's a personal connection there. Like, you feel something when you hear your favorite. It doesn't matter what the song is, and can't nobody tell you about your favorite.
Correct.
Right? So enjoy your favorite. So far as not being able to go out like you used to, and probably job loss.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a rocker, but I'm a 9-to-5 rocker. I've been furloughed too, right? But so far as that part of it, because I've dealt with depression before, a very dark side of depression. But that side of it, just kind of reflect. Take the time to reflect. And I've actually had this conversation with somebody earlier. Think of how you want to come out the other side of this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Think about that. Start building on that, right? Be it jot down ideas, be it a journal, be it just surfing the internet. Not necessarily, doing the Facebook, Instagram, but how do you want to come out on the other side? Because it's not going to be forever. It's not. But when the other side comes, it's not going to be the same either. So you shouldn't be the same.
Yeah, you're right.
You shouldn't be the same, right? So try to find a way to better yourself coming out the other side. That'll give you self-motivation, right? You know what? When this is over, these motherfuckers gonna feel me. Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. When I'm able to go outside, I'm gonna be 10 pounds heavier with muscle. I'm gonna be 10 pounds lighter, losing weight. They're gonna see a difference in the difference, right? You gotta kind of, at this point, really dig deep and love yourself, right? Because we're all going through it. Yeah. And just understand, it's not just you going through it. You're not the only one going through it.
Yo, I know.
Right? So it's a family of us going through this horrific time, right? But it is going to come to the end, and you have to think, how do you want to come out on the other side, is what I would say to somebody. And
to look at it with the name of the podcast, Shut the Fuck Up and Listen. A lot of times people just need to sit back and, like what you're doing right now. You're listening to me, I'm listening to you. We're kind of feeding off each other. But there's people out there that need to be heard more than they need this talk.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'm looking at it. It's just also one step at a time. So if you're dealing with the depression and you feel like everything is overwhelming, which lately it has been for me, now I'm trying to look at it as I need to take one step at a time to get everything to move forward. Mm-hmm. So it's like, whether it's job or money or, outlook, everything like that has to be one step at a time. Not everything's not going to change at once. Boom, It's not going to happen.
No.
So you kind of have to push it into that aspect of just, small steps, baby steps until you get to where you need to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an uphill battle for me. I don't drink or smoke, right? So I don't have.
Either do I. So I'm on the same page you are, man.
So what I do is I play poker.
I walk and I work out. That's basically my
Hey, that's good though, man. Put your headphones on, man. Walk the parks. Get by that lake. Walk the lake.
So I was reading a post of yours also recently that you're going to be talking to the class of 2020.
Yeah, man. I did that, man.
So what would you say? Oh, you already did it.
I already did it.
Okay, so what did you have to think about to talk to a group of youth just dealing with all this and dealing with what nobody else before them has ever dealt with?
In a nutshell, I'm jealous. Right? I'm jealous because, well, as the class of 2020, look at what all you have to talk about.
Yeah.
It's easy to be down and think about why I can't, but look at the story. Look at what you're surviving.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
Look, but look at it. So when 10 years from your graduation, you'll be able to say, I'm class of 2020. That's probably going to be all types of banners and whatever you can go buy. The class of 2020, it's going to be a proud moment because you survived it. Right, you survived 2020. So what does that do for you mentally? Now you can go out into the world. There's nothing that you can't get over. Damn.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing you can't. And so if you're able to deal with being locked down, but being productive, being locked down, dealing with not having a prom, not having a graduation as you saw it 4 years ago when you were a freshman, if you can mentally survive that, there's nothing that you can't accomplish. Because every battle, as you grow older, as you know, is a mental battle.
That it is.
It's a mental battle, right? So you're going to be able to look back and say, I survived 2020. Damn, like it's historic. It's one of those world moments that you're going to be taught in the history books.
Yeah, it will be. Definitely.
You see what I'm saying? Like you got something, you got a diploma that year. So that's how you have to look at it. I try to, even when talking with the fellas, when we all talking, I just try to simplify and find solution and find the shiny side of the coin, right? Not the dull side. Turn it over and see if that side has a little more bling to it. And that was the message that I gave them, man, and it was well received. So I guess I did okay with that.
Sounds like you have a way for words. Obviously, you do, being a lead singer too, so that always helps. Being the main writer. In that video that you posted last week, a couple things at the end there really got to me. You said, "Don't be afraid to feel. Don't be afraid to listen, and don't be afraid to show love."
Right.
I think all of that right now needs to happen more than anything that we're doing.
Yeah, the only thing that's stopping people from doing it is pride. That's it. Think about it. That's it. You don't owe me shit. You don't owe me nothing. We're having a hell of a conversation right now.
Yeah.
Right? We're having a hell of a conversation right now. I'm hoping after this, we exchange numbers and we become friends.
Well, I think that already happened.
You know what I'm saying? So when I touch down and I visit my family in Chicago, I give you a quick 1-2. Say, hey man, what you doing? It becomes more than what this is. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So those are easy things, and that's what my parents taught my brother and I. You know what I mean? Is you're black. Be proud of it. Be proud of it. There's a lot to come with it. ... My first friend, like I said in the video, was white, Kelly McCabe, second grade. We're damn good friends to this day. Second friend, Troy Thibodeau. Third friend, Rodney White. It's just, and we never saw color as a battle royal. Like, it wasn't me and my brother tag teaming against the neighbors.
Yeah.
right? Saw kids down the street. We can ride with our go-karts with. We can play basketball with. We can throw the football up and go tackle with. That's all we saw. Right? And when we went to school, I just saw somebody sitting, on the opposite side of the desk. I went and sat with her. We drinking our juice box and talking about Thundercats. Shit, I got a friend now.
Do you think that's actually what's missing in today's society is just people showing not just empathy, but like you said, you can go out. I don't see really kids go out and throw the football anymore or play baseball like we used to do or ride bikes like we used to do. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's the outside is non-existent. It's not like how it used to be when we came up. But what I will say to parents who are looking for that outlet for their kids is what I've done for my youngest is extracurriculars, football, swimming, baseball, soccer, basketball. You don't have to be good at it. Throw their ass in it.
An outlet, even music or art or anything like that as well. It's like
throw them in it.
Jiu-jitsu,
Jiu-jitsu, throw them in it, right? They get friends that way, and that's really how kids make it through. Kids don't talk to their parents, right? Your young kid don't give a damn what you say, right? But Chris in his first grade class, they buddy. So give them that outlet to, number one, burn off that energy. Number one, so when they get home, they're tired and they go to sleep, they don't bother you, right? And allow them to get out there, because most of my outside experience happened when we visit Mississippi in the summer when I was younger. But when we were in Houston during the physical school year, it was extracurricular activities. And on the weekends, I would follow behind my big brother going to the neighborhood kids and things like that. But like Boy Scouts, I know there's been a lot behind Boy Scouts, but Boy Scouts was awesome for me. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the only black kid in it.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. You know what I mean? And it was no issues, man. And that allowed me to see things like that. It allowed me to see an Asian kid, talk to that Asian kid. It allowed me to see the Hispanic kid, see the Indian kid, see the white kid, and see that we all like the same damn cartoons. Like, we all trying to get the G.I. Joe with the guns. We all trying to get the next G.I. Joe truck. We all like Thundercats. We're all the same, right? We all the same, and we all like Soul Train and all types of shit. That's what's missing, man. That camaraderie amongst people and more or less the kids, right? Because that's what's gonna take this shit over when we're out of here, right? And you just can't be afraid to talk. I mean, you can't be afraid to feel. Like I said, you can't be afraid to feel. You have to accept it, absorb it, let it out.
Yeah, and just even being able to come together at a rock or music show and the different backgrounds of people there. I mean, it's epic to be singing along with 10,000 people at a show, and everybody's from different backgrounds, and they're all there for the exact same reason, and it's basically all love.
Yeah, it's all love, man, and that's one thing the music does, and I think that's what now people are going to appreciate when they're saying, okay, you can now put on a show at full capacity. The shows are going to be flooded. People are going to be happy, man. People are going to be happy. And that's one thing that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to rock the fuck out the next time I go to a show, man.
Yeah,
it's been too long. My last show I was at was February, where I took a road trip to Iowa. I got to see Texas Boys Blacktop Mojo play. So
the fellas, the homies.
Yeah, so that was the last time I was actually at a concert, and I've already had 7 shows canceled up to this point, and it is nerve-wracking just dealing with all this. And I know it's got to be killing you, because I know you guys want to play and out. Yeah.
It's the rehearsal room used to be kind of an outlet for us. We're getting back to that now. But yeah, man, you just want to get with the fellas and create. You want to I like talking to the promoters and figuring out how we can promote this next show and look at the venue and think about what we're going to do outside of the city. And like, you miss that whole hustle of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, at the same time, while you're missing that, you're brewing a strong appreciation for it. Right. And now, like I said, I'm saying to myself, man, when I come out on the other side of this, I'm going to be in better shape than I was when this shit started.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's our mentality. We got to be better than what our fans last saw. And that's one thing that my brother, Big Reg, he preaches to us now. It's like, he's very, talk about Darth Vader. He's very honest. It's like, Big Reg says, if you motherfuckers are going to come out the same as y'all did when it started, don't even come out. Go ahead and quit.
Because you didn't learn.
You didn't do nothing, right? You didn't want to explode, right? And that right now, man, when I say we've opened up that hood and we tightening up that engine right now, is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, and hopefully sooner than later, because like you said, man, it's killing me right now.
Yeah, so, man. Our next big show is set for September 26th, Warehouse Live. We're going to be headlining along with the homies To Whom It May, Inner Image, and In the Aftermath, and it's going to be a very explosive show. That's what I'm looking forward to. And
where is that? Where's that located?
Warehouse Live, Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the info. It's going to be a big show. It's going to be our first major headline.
Come back, okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and we're prepping for that, right? But yeah, it's a anxiety-filled time, right? But you just gotta try to find a way to, like I say, better yourself while going through it. That's my main thing, and what I tell people that I talk to about is better yourself. Come out the other end a hell of a lot better than when it started.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, most people hopefully will, but there's obviously going to be some that are going to fall back out of that. Whether it's personal reasons or mental reasons or financial reasons, there's going to be both sides of it, and we know it.
Yeah, and you handle that two ways. Evan, you handle that two ways. You come across that individual, you need to talk to them. See if you can talk to them. Because I know I'm going to come across them. If they still in that bad spot, and some of them going to be friends of yours. They're not just going to be strangers. Some of them going to be friends that are stuck in that same place. Talk to them, right? See if you can penetrate. See if you can talk to them. That's one way of doing it. And if they don't want to talk, then, I've gotten to the point to where I'm too grown to argue. I don't argue. I keep an even tone right here.
Yeah.
Right. And if I see that you're in that place and you want to stay there, if you want to stay in that place, I can't help you, unfortunately. But I made an attempt as a friend to try to talk you through it. That's all you can do, and just get back with the crowd that's excited, and get back with the crowd that's on the positive energy vibe. Mm-hmm. That's all you can do.
Dude, this interview has been awesome. That's all I have to say. I wanna thank you for taking the time. Where else can we see Cooza Black in Sin City? Obviously, you have the social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. What's your website name?
Yeah, the website is coozablacksc.com. Going through maintenance, tightening that up, which has been fun. The easiest thing to do is just hit Instagram at Cooza Black, Instagram at Cooza Black in Sin City. It's so simple. Or you can just hit, like I say, go to the website, coozablacksc.com, and it'll have the social media sites there. Facebook, the same thing, Cooza Black in Sin City. It's spelled out the exact way that is stated. COOZABLACK and Sin SIN City. I just, I know it's a long name, but damn, it sounds cool.
It's all right. It does sound cool. I mean, when first time I heard your music from Tom and Tracy, ended up throwing it up on my radio show. So that was.
Oh man, Tom, old Tom and Trey. That don't. When I tell
Trey.
Once again, man. Once again, like I told you, the people that are behind us come from the Caucasian culture, man, and the white culture. And those are some good, man. Tom is a good dude, man.
It's support, and they're amazing people. I've known Tom for like 5 years now, and I've never met him in person yet. I've never met him in person, but hopefully soon.
No, you remember? You ever watched Inspector Gadget?
Yeah.
As a kid, right? You know the bad guy with the claw. That's who Tom is. You ain't gonna see Tom in person.
He's a fixture of our imagination.
Yeah, Tom ain't real. I deal with Tracy. Tom ain't real. I don't believe in Tom George. Tracy is who I believe in. Yeah, so, those are good people, man. Good people.
Yeah, and I want to thank you, and kind of like some of your final words that you said that I'm gonna say. Don't be afraid to listen. Right. Don't be afraid to feel, right. And don't be afraid to show love. Shut the fuck up podcast.
Shut the fuck up
podcast. That's kind of what we need to do. Don't be afraid to listen to other people and other people's views and feel what they're feeling and just understand. Like, shut the fuck up and listen.
It's so easy. It's so easy, man.
It's so easy. It's easy, but not talking and not listening. So,
because, and I'll end with this, man. People, what I found is most people listen to respond. Mm-hmm. They don't listen to understand. Right? You're talking to me, but I'm not listening because I already got something else I want to say. That's not how you do that. Right? I absorb what you're telling me. Like I take it in, I process it, then I give you back a 1-2. Shut the fuck up.
And listen.
There
you go. Cooza.
My man.
Man, well, there's my fingers. They disappeared in the little logo there. So I really appreciate it.
It has to start somewhere. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now?